All right, guys, this is MobileGamerNerd, and we're back with another Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play mystery shard only run video. Today, we are going to be talking about leveling your heroes to 60 and getting them all maxed out and how I go about doing it. Is this the way you should do it? I mean, that's up to you. It's really on you. Now, I did get a request to do a video on this from a subscriber. So, yeah, we're going to go through it real quick, and I'm just going to show you the way I do it now. Now, this is going to be different than what you do in the beginning because in the beginning, you don't really have a lot to go on. If you're looking to max your first, I mean, it's going to be basically the same, but if you're just started, your first 60s are going to be the hardest to get. One, you're not really going to have the Guardian ring. All right, that's one thing that I use pretty much consistently now, and it lets me basically level heroes while I'm not leveling heroes, and that is something that is really important in the later game. Now, in the beginning of the game, yeah, it sucks. You're going to have to do the worst leveling. It's going to take you a long time. You're going to feel like you're never going to be able to level a hero. I'm at the point where if I don't stop myself sometimes, I end up with too many heroes that are 60, and I have to go back and farm their masteries. So this is basically how I do it. Now, let's just say we're going to pick a hero. All right, so right now, I think I actually pulled one of the heroes out that I'm going to be starting to work on. Yes. So we did pull out Eris. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with her. We may put her in poison, but right now she's in this set. It is the crit damage, and it turns a critical hit. 50% chance to change a weak hit into a critical hit. So that's the set we put her in. Now, what I usually do is at this point in the game, I have in my vault all of my extra heroes that I'm leveling. Now, they're all going to be between 50 or 40. As soon as I get a new hero, I immediately level them 40. Now, in the beginning of the game, I leveled them immediately to 30. All right, so I would just get them to 30, and then I would put them in the vault and leave them there. All right, I didn't care if they had gear. I didn't care what they had. I just got them to 30, and then if I could ascend them, I ascended them, and I put them in the vault, and I just left them there. Eventually, I started leveling them to 40 because I was like, all right, maybe I should get some extra heroes for faction wars, and that's kind of what I did. So this process has been going on for a while. All right. I mean, we are now about a year and a half into the game. We're about to get a new legendary, so that's where we're at. What's her name? Gerda Bogbrew. We are literally about to get her in a week, so that's the time frame and where we're at. So what I would do is now I'm getting them to 40, and slowly but surely, I just leveled a few heroes. I would do like 3 heroes to 50 on the in between when I'm not getting a level 60. Like say I had 3 or 4 level 60s that were already maxed, and I'm trying to work on masteries and stuff. If I had heroes that I'm leveling, I would just put them into my 40s and get them to 50. So now we have about what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 rows of level 50s. And there are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have about 69, if you don't count this 140 here. We have about 69 level 50s in my vault right now. We have 67 level 60s right now. So basically, I just get them to 50, and then the ones that are 50, I basically get them to level 12 gear, and then some of them, as you can see, like with this guy, Crusader, right? That's his name. With Crusader, I would put him in some gear. So this is all 16 gear that I had, I think, honestly on Arbiter. I think I had her on Arbiter, so I threw it on him. So I was like, oh, let me try him out and see how it goes. So not most, all of my level 50s have at least level 12 gear. Say there might be like 1 or 2 that I pulled something off of randomly, but most of them say they're all going to be like this. They all have level 12 to 16 gear. Now in the beginning, they only had level 8 gear, and it was like 3 or 4 star. All right. And eventually that was when they were level 40. Now, when I got them to 50, I made it a pact with myself. All right. So this is something that I specifically did. I basically made sure that any hero I got to 50 was going to have all of their gear to at least level 12, and it had to match the stats that I needed. So it's not perfect gear, but basically if I had to go back and say I'm going to build Gator, I already have a set on him that basically works. I may have to change 1 or 2 pieces to make it, a little more usable. But a lot of these heroes, like here we go with her. This is a great set. I mean, we've already got her in a pretty reasonable set. I don't know if she's got crit damage, but essentially they're set up to where they're basically going to work already. So once I start leveling them, they already have gear that kind of works. All right. And then the heroes that I get to 60, those are the ones that I level up all their gear to 16. And it has to be a perfect set, or at least a reasonable set that gets me the stats I need. All right. So that's basically my procedure. All right. In this game. And like I said, in the beginning, when you're leveling your first few 60s, you're probably not going to be focusing on your vault heroes. You're going to be working on just your main teams. If you have less than, I'm going to say, 10 60s, you shouldn't really be worried about your level 40s and 50s, all right? Maybe get your heroes to 30 and throw them in the vault, like I said. And then once you start getting past 10 heroes, I would probably start leveling a few heroes. Pick the ones that you know are good, all right? The ones that you think you might be using, you can look at my heroes and all my champion spotlights. all of them are level 60. So that's, I mean, you can literally go back to, I think Spirit Host was my first level 60. So if you really want to know the order, I believe my playlist is set up. No, it's actually not. I think it's set up in the most views. But either way, most of it, when you look on my playlist for the champion spotlights, you'll see kind of the order in which I leveled them. And you'll also can kind of tell just from having watched my videos for a while. But if you have a question on that, feel free to ask. Most of the starting five I did early on. We did Jizzo early on. I think Haikatoon, we waited a little bit. We ended up getting, who else did we build up early? We built up Soul Bond. We built up Zephyr Sniper. Those are the heroes that we kind of move forward with quickly. Outrider, I got to level 60 pretty early on because he's pretty strong and he's easy to get and max. So those are the heroes we built, and yeah, that's it. So now let's go see how we actually do it. All right. In the beginning, it's going to suck. Like I said, you're going to go in here, but nothing changes here. You're going to go into campaign, basically, and you can argue whether or not 12-3 or 12-6 are better. I don't really care. Either one of them will do the job. All right. I usually run stage 3 just because it's easy and I don't have to deal with anything. I mean, I could probably do the same thing on 6. I don't think it really matters. So the first thing you're going to need is a campaign farmer. So who do you use? I mean, anyone who can AoE these guys is great and who can do it fast. You want a 7-second farmer. I don't even think I have a 7-second farmer. She is when she actually, like Soulbon is a 7-second farmer if she can do it. I know that sounds weird, right? Sometimes she misses that last run. So let's just go through and I'll show you what I mean. She has an A1 that attacks all enemies. Saurus has an attack that hits all enemies, all right? These are the heroes you want. See how they just kill everything in one hit? You want to eventually build somebody to level 60 first that can farm, all right? There's what I was talking about, how you're going to miss sometimes. So there we go, 10 seconds. Honestly, it doesn't matter. When I do this, I'm not even paying attention to it most of the time. I literally just let it run and I'm doing something else. So 7 to 10 seconds is your goal. Now, in the beginning, you're going to have Kale maybe. All right, so let's throw Kale in here. Yeah, we don't care. So let's pretend like we did Kale first, even though we did. All right, we put him in the lead and we start. Is it going to be 7 seconds? I mean, probably not. Even my Kale, who's pretty strong, may not be isn't going to be 7 seconds. Say, look, he's going to kill things. Everyone's going to die. He's not going to care. See, he still gets his attack off. And mine's really strong. You could conceivably take about 30 seconds. As you can see, if you're not fast, you're going to start seeing that you're going to take a lot longer. That 20 seconds now. So that's what you're going to be dealing with. Between 20 and 35 seconds probably. Early game, you might even see 40 seconds or 50 seconds. So don't be bogged down and be like, oh, no, I'm never going to. It happened to all of us, all right? We've all leveled with a garbage Kale, all right? Everyone's done it, and you're going to go through it too. So this is why I always tell everyone the first 6 months of the game are actually the hardest part of the game, because you don't know what you're doing, you don't have a lot of heroes, and you can't really do things quickly. Now, you're going to use Kale, and you're going to level up in stage 12-3 or 12-6, whichever one you want. I don't care. One's more experience, one's more money. There's an argument about it. It's not an interesting argument. It's just an argument. So level in whatever the hell level is easier for you and which one's faster. There you go. Problem solved. And basically just level up your heroes. Bring in your food champions, as you see here. We're going to edit team again. So I'm going to take this team setup, and we're going to click this. Soulbon requires me to use the team setup, the presets, because she has to use her A1 all the time. That's why I do it that way. If you have Saurus, he's another campaign farmer you can use. Golek is an early game one you can use. He's, like I said, they're not the best, but they work. If you end up getting, I forgot his name, there's the doggo. He's a void dog. Is it Hellhound? Not Hellhound. Hellfang, something like that. I think it's Hellfang. He is a great campaign farmer. All right, so that's someone like that. Anyone that has an A1 that hits all enemies can potentially be, not always, can potentially be your campaign farmer. Now, what does that mean? It means you want to build them really strong with attack, lifesteal, because you want them to stay alive. I'm not going to have Soulbon built the correct way because I use her for other things that are not campaign farming related. So, but she just works for my campaign farmer, and I never fixed her. So let's go into her masteries real quick. When you're doing masteries for your campaign farmer, you want them to be fast. Accuracy doesn't really matter. I mean, the skill cooldown is nice, but it's not super important. Defense, once again, also not super important. This offense tree is where you're really going to start to see your campaign farmer do well. Now, there's going to be some specific ones. Increase speed for each enemy killed for this champion. It stacks across every battle. What that means is that every single round, you're going to get more speed, which makes you attack faster. So you're going to want to pick that up, all right? As you can see, it's not highlighted on my hero, all right? Another one, decrease skill cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn if the damage is inflicted by a skill exceeds 30%. Obviously, because you want to one-shot the whole freaking team. So this is another skill you want to put on your campaign farmer. And then there's also placing a shield on a champion for 1 turn when they kill someone. This honestly does not freaking matter unless you're having trouble and you're getting killed. So in the beginning, Blood Shield may be a little more useful. Unless you're farming Nightmare, which most people do not, don't worry about Blood Shield. But in the beginning, yeah, you could put it on there, and that way he'll kill someone and he'll get a shield. And then when they get their attacks, like you just saw, like the 3-round, if you're weaker and you're like maybe like leveling at 40 and 50, yeah, Blood Shield is super, super helpful. It will help you finish the round and not die. All right, because losing obviously wastes your energy. You still get some experience, but you don't get anything else. So just so you know, Blood Shield is useful right in the beginning. I believe those are the 3 main ones. So you would basically go down this tree. You want all the attacks. So you want crit damage, heals by 5%. That's not super important. I would actually say damage inflicted to targets less than 40% HP. Honestly, not even really needed because most of the time you're killing something when they are max health. So you could conceivably remove that and then just put increased speed. All right. The healing is always good. So that's good for a campaign farmer so they don't die. Then you've got Bring It Down, which increases damage inflicted by 6% when attacking targets with higher max HP. I mean, you're fighting in campaign, more than likely they do, but they might not. So that's up to you if you want to do that. Increase damage inflicted for each dead ally. Obviously, you want that because all your heroes are going to be dead. You're farming with heroes that suck. All right. So I would probably say that one and Cycle of Violence would be your best bet. And then skip this. That's probably your best bet. And then this one increases damage inflicted by the champion's default skill each time it is used. I mean, you can use that. Increased damage inflicted in arena every time you kill someone and other areas, whatever. Yeah. So I would probably take Kill Streak and I would probably take Blood Shield. Very good skills. War Master, honestly, probably not the best bet. You probably want to go with Helm Smasher because you want to break through defenses. If I had Helm Smasher on her, she'd probably kill that last round by itself. So, yeah, just so you know, read your masteries and really understand them. All right. You don't have to do everything the way I'm telling you. All right. I'm just giving you why things are good. You can decide for yourself which ones are the best. I know there's another one in here. What is this? Increased damage inflicted by 8% on the first hit of each enemy. That's another one you're probably going to want on your hero. So you may just go with Whirlwind of Death and then go right into Ruthless Ambush because then you do more damage every time on your first hit. So obviously you're going to want to do that because you want to kill everything in one hit. That's the goal here is the whole wave, every wave, one hit. All right. Figure out a hero that can do it. That's it. That's all there is to it. You can use Soulbond. You just saw me do it, and I don't even have her set up to be a campaign farmer, and she's working it in 7 to 10 seconds. If I actually fixed her for this specifically, yeah, she would do it every single time. So that's basically the first thing, is you need a campaign farmer if you want to level your heroes to 60. This takes the longest part of in the beginning of the game because you're leveling in like hard mode, in like normal mode, all right, in easy mode. You're leveling in the worst areas possible to get your first 60. So just get your first 60, and that's it. Now, my first 60 was Kale. What did I do? I literally just leveled like I just showed you. I actually personally, when I first started the game, all right, we went into campaign, we went into normal. This is literally in the beginning of the game. I didn't level anywhere else. I worked my way through campaign. Eventually, we got to the Deadlands, all right? I farmed stage 3 right here the entire time until I maxed out War Maiden. All right, then that was, we're talking like the first week of the game, all right? We're not talking, later on. So this is literally the first week. I only farmed her until I got her maxed, and that was my main thing. Is I needed War Maiden. She's the next second best hero to go along with Kale outside of Spirit Host, and I farmed the crap out of her. All right, I got as many copies as I could, and I maxed her skills. That was the first thing because you can max Kale's skills just from the books that you get from doing missions and challenges. So we got her built up, and then that's where I farmed. So I farmed there, and then eventually I moved into stage 12-3 on normal. All right. And then eventually, within the first week, once you get the full lifesteal set on Kale and he's pushing level 50, you can push into Nightmare if you're not really good at the game and you're kind of like, you're still a little new and you don't really understand stuff. You're probably going to be farming in hard mode for a little while, and then you're going to move into brutal once you figure it out. Figure brutal is mainly for, you can do it at 50. All right. I believe you can pretty much farm all of 50, all of brutal with Kale. If he's maxed, has all his masteries, and all his gears maxed, you should have no problem farming in brutal. And that's where I farm now. Even now, I farm in brutal because it's easy, it's quick, and it doesn't use as much energy, and you get a lot of stuff for it. So it's good. You can sell the shield, you can sell whatever you find in here, you can just sell it and get a lot of silver. Now, that's basically until you get your 60. Once you get your 60, you're essentially farming brutal 12-3. That's it. So you just farm the area that is quick and that you don't die. That's the main thing. All right. The other thing you should really think about is that something that you didn't notice probably. There's two things up here. One says EXP. All right. This is the one you need to watch. Don't level heroes. In the beginning, you're going to have EXP basically the whole time. I mean, you're going to have it for probably the first like 6 months. After that, you're going to start. It's going to start falling off once in a while. So just keep an eye on it. Especially if you play like me, where you don't really give a crap about events and tournaments, and you just skip it all and just play the game and have fun. You're definitely going to run out of EXP boost. If you do all the events and everything else, and you run through all that stuff, and you spend your entire day in the game, more than likely, yeah, you'll have the EXP boost for the rest of your life because you'll be getting it from events. Make sure it's good. All right. You can get EXP boosts from a couple different places. All right. Where did you get it? One, from just the events and things like that. Quests, when you go in here, you do this. All right. On the weekly, you get it for completing all 5. So you get 1 day there. Monthly, I don't think you get any advanced quests. You get a 3-day for finishing out the first ones. This comes back every month. And you can buy it from the shop for 140. So if you go down to the shop right here, gem shop, you can go into here and you can buy, boom, EXP boost for 3 days, for 1 day. Wouldn't recommend doing this too often unless you have a lot of gems, kind of like me, where I don't really use them for anything else. I'll buy it once in a while if there's like an event where I need to kind of level heroes fast, or if I'm trying to do a video. So yeah, I have bought a 1 day. I don't think I've ever bought a 3-day. And you could argue that buying the 3-day has more value, but if you're just trying to do something for 1 day and you don't care and you're going to get another EXP boost later on, I wouldn't waste an extra 140 gems just to get 2 days of boost that I may not be using. So that's just me. If you're doing a long, elongated version, or you're trying to level up a bunch of heroes in the beginning and you ran out, then yeah, the 3-day would probably be worth it. I wouldn't recommend doing this too much, though. Like I said, it's a waste of gems. You should be able to just get an EXP boost somewhere else, but this is for emergencies, okay? So make sure that's logged up. So this needs to turn yellow. Now I have one in here. I'm going to kind of push it off now because whatever. I'm going to use it, collect. So there you go. So now my boost is active. See, what this does is it gives you 100% EXP boost. So now you're getting double the EXP. So I only level. Why did I do that? So I only level when I have the EXP boost done. Now, when I don't have it done, what am I doing? Well, that's when I'm doing my masteries. So basically, this is going to be hard in the beginning. And what I would recommend, and I've said this before, and a lot of people kind of fight me on it. Your first 800 gems in the beginning of the game, buy Kale's Masteries. Nothing else. Don't buy summons. Don't buy anything else. Don't buy an EXP boot. Don't buy nothing from the shop. Save your gems until you have 800 gems, and then buy your Masteries on Kale. Having a mastered Kale that is level 60 should be the priority for almost every new player, all right? He is that good, and he is good enough to get you through the beginning of the game, so you're not wasting your money and you're not wasting your time. So use the 800 gems, get his masteries done. You will be shocked at how much stronger your Kale is once you have all of your masteries, all right? Insanely better, like insanely better. So do that, and then you can go into Minotaur, and you can farm your masteries here. Now, I personally bought the masteries for my first, I think, 3 or 4 heroes, and then once I had 4 heroes maxed, then I started farming them, and even now to this day, I still buy a mastery on some heroes. All right, I have a lot of gems, as you can see. I don't summon, so I don't need these gems. They don't do anything for me. And we actually just finished doing Grappler, so he is now maxed. So what I would do is come in here, and I'll find my hero that I want. Boom, we've got I forgot her name already. So we've got her in my 5th position. Now I use 4 heroes because I don't really level in here. I've done it. Like, I'll put a hero that's brand new in here and let them level. They don't gain much experience. If you're trying to level your hero in just doing masteries, yeah, you're probably going to be spending a lot of time here for no reason. It's up to you. If you want to level your heroes here, I don't care. It doesn't change anything. I just put 4 heroes in, and then all my scrolls go to the one hero that I'm leveling at the time, and that's it. Whether they're getting experience or not is irrelevant to me. I do not care. Is this the most efficient way? I don't know. It's up to you. If you want to do, you want to bring in 6 heroes that are all level 5 and have 1 hero do it. Let's see. Let's see if Kale can handle this. All right, we're going to put Kale here, and we're going to bring in 5 random ass heroes, champions. See, I feel like you can do it. I don't know how strong Kale is versus this, but we're going to find out. Because why not, right? That's the whole point. Filter. Include Master Vault. So we're going to bring in a bunch of heroes that I like. Hide. All my level 50s that I want to level eventually. So here we go, over here. So we're going to bring in, I don't know, this guy. We're going to bring in Lich. We're going to bring my girl in. Yeah, that's good enough. Actually, we're not going to bring Lich. We're going to bring in Marquis because I actually do want to level him. Lich, I'm not too interested in right now. Let's see. So can Kale do this without any help? I don't know. I mean, these other guys are pretty good. We're going to find out, though. Now, remember, these guys are all level 50, so I want you guys to actually see what Kale can handle, because I don't even know if he can handle this. I'm banking that he can. I'm assuming he can. He's pretty strong. He's not that fast, so having extra speed on him would be extremely helpful. Really, it's just whether or not the boss kills him. Now, somebody has a shield in here, and I don't really remember who it was. So popping a shield set on somebody is always good if you're having trouble in here. Let's see if Kale can kill all these stupid ass cold hearts. Now they are helping him, so this doesn't really show that he can do it by himself, but he's so far kind of handling it. This is where we're going to find out. Is right here, because he's going to take a lot of hits. And this is why I don't really do it. There's heroes out there that can do this by themselves, so don't think they can't, that you can't find one. This is just my Kale and where he's at, all right? Now, so far he's surviving. It's going to take a lot longer. That's the other thing, is I try to do these fast. I don't like doing this with fights that take forever, all right? I don't want to sit here for, literally, we're already way faster than I want it to be. I mean, not faster. We're way slower than I would want this to be. My fights are usually between the 40 and 50-second range, and I bring in all my heroes, and I just have the one hero that beats it. But you're seeing this. Level 60 Kale, all right? My other guys are 50, which is about right for, more than likely, if you're doing Masteries, you're probably not getting Masteries on level 40s too much. So you're probably going to have level 50 heroes in here that you're running this with eventually. And yeah, Kale can do it with them. I mean, there you go. I actually thought he was going to die. So boom, he did it in a minute 40 seconds. All right. So just having him level 60 and maxed helps you get your masteries. Now, what I normally do is this. Let's edit my team. All right. We pull him back here. I take them all out except for the one hero that I want. And who do we have in here? We have Cleo. We have Yakarl that I use specifically just because he has a lot of attack. And then I think we use War Maiden because she has defense down. So that's like my main setup. And we start. Now, this goes a lot quicker, like much quicker. um, and then we really just whoop the boss's butt and get it done. It's about 45, 40 seconds per run, 40, 50 seconds, whatever. And there you've got your masteries. Now, what I do is I use my auto battles, and I will just put this on auto. And there you go. I actually did it on my way to work. I put my tablet on my seat, and I just put it on auto, and I drive for like 30, 40 minutes to get to work. So I just put it on auto and I let it run sometimes, or I'll put it on auto when I go to bed if I have a ton of EXP. Say you have like 100 auto battles and you have like 1,000 energy just sitting there. Instead of just letting it rot over the night, I'll just put it on auto, and when I wake up, my hero's like basically almost done with masteries because I didn't have to look at it and worry about it. Just know they might do a maintenance, and that could screw you up. Just be aware. It does happen from time to time. So, yeah, those are things you can do. So there we go. We did it in about a minute. This is really dependent on which hero you're leveling. When I brought in Bloodfeather, we did it in 40. Here you go. Look, 37 seconds is my best time here. Say, best time. There's way better heroes to do this with. Like, you can do this with tons of heroes. This is just the ones that I currently use. I don't really think about it too much. It's stupid easy. And like I said, most of the time I'm not paying attention to it anyway. So if this could take a minute, this could take a minute and a half. I don't give a you know what, right? It just goes. So there we go. That's how I get my masteries leveled, and I just put it on auto and let it run. As far as the actual leveling process of heroes, outside of just leveling your food, all right, you're going to go in here. You're going to summon a bunch of mystery shards, which I have 156 right now of heroes. I'm going to say, what is that, 70 or 80 about of that is not food. So we hit summon. We'll grab whatever we can get from here. Now, early game, and even sometimes now, I may or may not, if I'm running out of heroes or shards, I may go into the market and just buy a couple heroes to level for until I get a couple more shards, and then I'll summon the shards, and then I'm back in action, all right? I wouldn't recommend this because you waste a lot of silver here, but it's once in a while. Just come in here, whatever. I'll buy like a whatever hero. Say I need one more hero to have 2 stars in there. I'll buy the hero, and then I'll go run the campaign. So I do that sometimes, not all the time. Second thing, Guardian Ring. This is not something that I'm willing to argue about. Is Guardian Ring worth it in Sparring Pit? Yes, it's worth unlocking. When is it worth unlocking? That I leave to you guys. I mean, I did it after I'd gotten all my heroes masteries done, so I didn't spend any gems here, because you figure, what, 700, 1400? You're going to be using about 17, did I do that right? 700 times 2 is actually Yeah, there we go. 1,400, right? 700. Yeah, my math it's late. I'm sorry. So 1,400 plus 350. So yeah, you're looking at about 1,750 just to unlock it. As you can see, I have. Oop, no, close this. As you can see, I haven't upgraded these to the third. All right, I don't need to. This takes literally for me specifically takes just enough time. All right, for me to level the heroes to get these max. Now, what I do is I level them to four. I level my heroes to 4 star, and then I will level them up in campaign up until maybe level 15, 16. You can go longer, you can go shorter. It's up to you. You'll figure out your own little system as you go. And then you just pop them in here and you leave them here. And by the end of the week, boom, you've got a bunch of 40s. And there you go. You can do one set of these every week, basically. And if you're getting close and you leveled up your food heroes way too fast, you can always just pull these guys out and then just level them to 40 real quick and get it done sooner. And I've done that before too. So I have pulled them early. And you can pull them at any time you want. Doesn't matter. It could be halfway through a level. It's going to give you whatever experience you gained up until the point you pull them. You do not have to wait for them to be 40. So yeah, is this worth unlocking? Yes. Would I recommend it in the first month or two? I mean, like I said, it just depends how fast you want to level your heroes. And I would say personally that the masteries for your first few heroes are way more important. Kale's really the only one that is like that I would say matters the most. After him, I mean, you could conceivably unlock this right after that, just so you can start leveling heroes faster and keeping your food in here for a little bit. But I don't think it's going to matter too much in the long term. Once you get this unlocked, you're going to be leveling heroes. Once you have like a ton of heroes, if you've been playing the game for a year, yeah, you're going to have a good campaign farmer. You're going to have plenty of resources. You're going to have potions. You're going to have a whole bunch of stuff that speeds this process up a ton. All right. In the beginning, it's going to suck for you and you're going to hate it. So that's all I do. I leave these guys in here and then I just take my, here we go, champions. I go in here and I will level, usually how I personally do it. It could be different for everyone. Oh, look, we have another gator. I will take my 2 stars. As you can see, they're all my green 3 stars right here. I take all my green 2 stars and I level them to max. And then I take all of my 1 stars that I get and I level them to max. And then I'll just upgrade all these to 2 star, and then I'll just feed those to my 2 stars, and now I have 3 stars. And then eventually I just have a bunch of 3 stars, and then I'll just go run some things with these guys and then get them to 4. And then boom, you got your 4 stars. Put the 4 stars into the sparring pit, let them level up to get your max 40s. And then you just grind everybody out to 4 star until you have, what is it? You need 4 4 stars per chicken, basically. All right. So you have 5 chickens. So 5 times 40. You need 24 stars to do it. So once you have 24 stars, if the chickens are cooked, then you pull them out. And by I mean chickens, I mean the people in the sparring pit, in case you were wondering. We pull them out and then we use them for upgrading to 5 star, and then you use those 5 5 stars to get your new level 60, which is what we're going to do with Eris once we get these guys. See, you can see they're cooking right now. We're going to get them maxed out, and I'm slowly getting a bunch of 3 stars. I will be leveling these all, as you can see, the ones right here. We're leveling these to 30, and then they will be my 4 stars to get these guys to 5 star. Now, sometimes you're going to get a 5 star chicken. Now, I have one right here. I have a 5 star that was from my last batch. Why does that happen? Well, every once in a while you get a 5 star chicken. Every month you get a 5 star chicken. Sometimes you just get a bunch of 4 stars and it just happens. So for me personally, I almost always every month end up with an extra 5 star. So I just now leave them in the vault. There is times that I broke that rule and I use them as chickens. It's a dumb move. Don't do it. But yeah, now, when I mean as chickens, I mean as 4 star maxed. I would use them as a chicken to get another 5 star that I'm in a rush to get. So I just do that. It's not worth it. But yeah, there's my 5 star, and then eventually, so I only need 4 now. So technically, I can pull 4 of them out and get them to 5 star, and then I have my thing. So there you go. Now you've got your stuff. Now you can use extra heroes that you don't use for chickens if you want. If you want to use these guys for chickens because you don't use them, that's up to you. I don't do it just because you never know. You never know. Maybe a raid ends next month and I'm like, yo, screw it. Let's just pull these guys out and have fun. It happens. You know what I mean? Games end. Something sometimes happens. You change your mind. You might just be like, screw it one day. I'm going to use these guys and then I'll pull them all out. So yeah, that's up to you. I wouldn't use them for chickens unless you're doing a challenge run, like a 3-month challenge run, like the other guys. Yeah, I would use them as chickens then because I don't care about the account. But yeah, that's basically it. That's kind of how I get my 6 stars every single time. And I look for my awakenings and blessings and stuff as I go. As you can see, many of these guys have a lot of blessings. I have a lot of them all over the place. Most of my heroes at this point have 1 star at least. And even my level 40s, they're all in here. We're actually running out of level 40s, as you can see. Look at that. Where I got, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like six and a half rows of 40s left, and then we have no more 40s to level. There's only, I think, like maybe 10 rares that I don't have at this point. So yeah, we're gonna be we're getting there. I'm saving all my heroes in the vault. Just put them in the vault. You never know. You never know when someone's going to be useful. All right. As far as skills go, I just wait until I have copies. I try to farm heroes that are farmable when I'm kind of low on books because that gives me a new hero to level. You shouldn't ever stop leveling heroes and building heroes and skilling out heroes, right? Just keep going. Like there's tons of content in the game. Almost every hero in this game is useful somewhere. All right. Whether they're the best option for that part or that content, I leave to you. But almost every single hero in this game is 100% usable and may help you in it. You might, I had, what is it? Here, Disciple. I say this too many times. I've got this guy that everyone hates. Like no one likes him. Where is he? Maybe he got a better review now that he's got 70 reviews. Look at this 3.8, 3.3, 3 trash reviews on this guy. No one has a level 60 Twin Claw Disciple that they use on the rig. All right. No one. I do. And he's usable in the city. We use him with, funny enough, is a perfect person to use with another hero that no one uses, Lord Legionary. And he drops, the other guy, Twin Claw, drops 100% HP. Sorry, not HP. Heal reduction, which lets Lord Legionary get 4 hits. So on his A1. So those two are a great pair. All right. Funny enough. And they work really well. I actually used both of them to kill the Dark Fae in the city because I was having trouble. I know a lot of people got hard stuck there because it was a terrible fight, but I was able to beat it with Lord Legionary and with Twin Claw Disciple. And these are heroes that no one uses and no one loves them. But yeah, I got through it with those guys because they literally rocked the boss's face off. All right. Awesome team, great heroes, and Twin Claw is fast becoming one of my favorite heroes in the game, crazy enough, and he's not even that good. I just really like him, and he comes in clutch when no one else does. Is really what I like about him. And I don't even have him built that great. You get his crit damage up to 250. Actually, he's at 200, like 250, 300. Yeah, you're gonna start seeing some monster damage. He's gonna start one-shotting people in the arena if you build him for arena too. So yeah, there you go. That's basically it. I mean, that's how I level my heroes, and that is how I get my 60s and how I push forward with masteries. Auto battles are for masteries when I don't have EXP. When I have EXP, I am always leveling, even if that means that I level up 6 or 7 heroes at sometimes. It doesn't happen as much now because I don't have as many heroes to level, like as far as like brand new heroes that I'm excited to make sure I get like fast. But I mean, I still like the other guys, but you knew what I mean. But yeah, I mean, if it means that you level 6 heroes to max and 60, it doesn't hurt you. Nothing in this game hurts you except for feeding a hero that's really good to somebody that sucks. That's really the only thing that I would say could hurt you. Especially if it's a hero you'll never get again, like say one of the hunters or something. Yeah. Or if you fed ninja to somebody. Other than that, nothing's going to ruin your account. And even if you fed ninja to somebody that sucked, you didn't ruin your account. You just made it not as good. That's it. And you'll never have Ninja again anyway. You can't get it from another account. So there you go. Unless they made that code. I don't know if that happened or not. But yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions, things you want to, throw in here, throw it in the comments. I mean, everybody here is free to give out their opinions. I get attacked on the whole buying Masters on Kale, and honestly, I don't care. It worked for me. I am having a great time. It got me through the early game quickly. I was able to beat things that I wasn't able to beat before. I've had 6 accounts, and all I know is buying Masteries for Kale and getting him to 60 maxed right from the beginning was the best move I've ever made in any time I've ever played this game. It got me through so much content and has allowed me to farm things that I shouldn't be able to farm at early level. So that's the only thing I would say is like super important for the beginning. After that, do whatever the hell you want. As long as you can beat Minotaur 15, it don't matter what you do with your gems after that. I could care less. But before you can beat Minotaur 15 and you can farm it consistently, Masteries on your best heroes. War Maiden, Spirit Host, Apothecary, Kale. Those are the 4. That's it. Those are the only 4 you need. Valerie is a distant 5 comparative for the early game. All right. Once you start moving into dungeons and Doom Tower and stuff, Valerie becomes way more important. But in the beginning, yeah, who the hell cares? The only 4 that matter are the original 4s. And yes, you can use Diabolus in place of Apothecary. She's just not as good. So there you go. If like, share, subscribe. Not if like, share, subscribe. If you guys you help the channel grow, it's always great. And I'm glad that we got to leave Twin Claw Disciple on the screen for a little while. It makes me happy. All right, so this is how I level my 60s and how I say you should do it, but you don't have to. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and you guys take care.